G'day everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse from Tuckerwood Marks Point. This Friday's fishing report. Cracking afternoon down here. We're actually down on Swan Bay. This weekend we've got some really big high tides in the morning. It's around about 1.83 metres tomorrow at 11 AM. Big tidal movements. Even the run out tide is more or less a 1.6 metre tidal exchange. Tonight, for example, if you're really keen, you'll actually pick up the last of the prawn run. If you get out there around about sort of 1:32 AM, you'll pick that last run up. There has been still some nice prawns coming down, but with this big drain off, you'll probably see some really good action happening. If you can get some live prawns or even some live tube worms, sit on the back of the flats over here tonight and into the wee hours of the morning, you'll get some very good brim and whiting. And some beautiful whiting up around that 38, 39 centimetre mark, and we're already seeing a lot of these travelling brim move into the flats. So just take advantage if you can. It'll continue into tomorrow night as well, but I think tonight's really spot on. A lot of jewfish getting caught in the lake at the moment. Live squid or fresh squid proving to be the best. Look, fish varying in size, 75 centimetres, you know, some of the smaller fish up to a metre, but everyone seems to be catching them if they're prepared to put a bit of effort in. A few tips on tailor this week. There were a few better tailor up the northern end, that Valentine, sort of Killaban Bay, in that sort of area there, Coley. Some better fish up to about 55. I had a quick fish on Tuesday afternoon in some pretty bad wind, I might add. Pretty tough conditions. We picked up a few fish, but no real size, sort of 40 centimetres would have pulled it up. So it's good to see there's still a few hanging around if you're prepared to put a bit of time in. A lot of flathead in the shallows now. Swansea Channel in particular on the back of this prawn run tonight, or the last of the run, will prove best. Again, paddle tails and grub tails be really working quite well. If you're going to go onto the beaches, look, there's been a few fish around, but we've been getting caught by pockets of cold water. You'll see it on some of the beaches where the water is just a real olive colour. It is quite cold. I had a walk in the channel this morning just for a bit of a look up near the ramp, and the water had cleared itself up. So there's patches of warmer and cold water along the coast. It's affecting the fishing coastally at the present moment. So a few brim, few tailor, and still a few flatties, and the odd whiting on the beach. But again, you could go down to Catherine Bay and then really get stuck into the whiting. It just depends on how good the water temperature is. Plenty of drummer, plenty of ludric getting caught off the rocks, and some nice trevally as well. You're going to get offshore. Look, we're going to have easterlies. Probably Sunday's going to be a little bit better again, but look, some beautiful temperatures, you know, early 30-degree temperatures before we get that bit of a depression, I think it is, next week. Bit of uncertainty about the strength of it. There's going to be a little bit of rain and a bit of wind right the way through next week, so take the opportunity to get out. The 5-kilometre band still not lifted. We'll find out more about that in the next week or so once everything starts to open up a little bit. And again, some nice snapper on these inshore reefs, some salmon and trevally, and of course flathead. A few of the guys have been doing very, very well for flathead. Got a tip just before we come down actually as well. Been some beautiful blue swimmer crabs in the back part of the lake, but you've got to try to put those witchesats in the deeper water. And remember, in Lake Macquarie, guys, you can only use witchesats or drop dillies. You cannot use enclosed traps. So we get all the phone calls on this. The rectangular size traps and the round ones that are meant for mud crabs are totally illegal in Lake Macquarie. There is like a colony of small green sea turtles which treat the lake as their home. These rectangular and round traps are detrimental to these guys, so just be sensible while we're doing it. Now, this week's ZEREK Fish of the Week winner is Jason Smith. He was able to get offshore and actually take advantage of some of our advice and pick up a beautiful snapper late last week. So it's great to see, and look, it's just a matter of just getting out there, putting some time in, and you'll be rewarded. I'll catch you next Friday.